It's Kane from Kane's Trains here. In today's video, we'll be looking at the exciting and long-awaited release from Auscision Models in the form of their CLP class locomotives. Now, I don't have a CLF on me, but I may get to look at one in a week or two. This one has DCC sound in the form of lock sound. Bought it for $465 from Orient Express Model Railway Shop. Let's have a look. But first, a little bit of historical context. The CLP class of locomotives were originally the CL class locomotives built by the Commonwealth Railways. Under Australian national ownership in the early 90s, the CLs were remanufactured by Morrison Knudsen, with 10 becoming the CLP class and 7 becoming the CLF class. The major difference being that the CLP class had head-end power for trains like the Overland or the Indian Pacific. Today, the CLPs can be seen still on the main line, on grain services with Verizon, or other services with Southern Short Haul Railroad and Rail Power over in Victoria. Let's get back to looking at the model. Alright, here is one I prepared earlier. We have the yellow Auscision box with a CLP on the front in the AN livery. At the end is a sticker with your specific loco, in this case CLP 16 in Genesee and Wyoming livery with the lock sound. And the box is fairly simple. You've got the front of the loco, top of the loco there, front of the loco there, and nothing on the back. So, get my trusty blade and we'll cut the plastic that keeps it sealed. A naturally surgical endeavour, and then I'm going to rip it anyway. All for show. Get that out of the way. Turn the box around. And the moment of truth. Slide that. Put that back. Makes a nice little backdrop. So, we get our model features, sound features, bit of a warning, just important information in there. Get our exploded parts diagram on that side there, with further stuff like the gearbox and body there. Hopefully that's focusing well, it's hard to tell from my end. We have a warning about ensuring that when you're running it on DCC, you must ensure you have electronic circuit protection in place for short circuits. Moment of truth. I like the little hole in the foam. There it is. Now, random note, this is very nice foam. It's very dense. That looks fantastic. Wow. So worth noting, none of that plastic that you get with other models around the locomotive. The loco has a little bit of thin plastic sheeting sitting in the foam. None of that, I think they call it like ice cube packaging that some other companies use. So I'm going to take this out of the box, put it aside, and we'll have a look at it. Alright, there it is sitting on my little rotating platform. An Auscision CLP number 16 in the Genesee and Wyoming livery. I'll give it a little spin around. This model is absolutely stunning. Look at just how the livery is done with that lining through there. The separately applied parts everywhere. Even the handrails on the side of the nose. Fantastic. Just that front of the locomotive, beautiful. All the hoses, ditch lights, marker lights and everything, it's fantastic. You've got your two crew members sitting in the cab. You've got the name plate on the side there, and I'm not going to take a go at pronouncing that. As we go along the back, etched metal grills, top and sides. You've got your windows through there, porthole style. On the back, you've got air hoses, MU cables, marker lights again, rear headlight there. And as we come around there, you get to take in more of the steps, portholes, detail on the side of the fuel tank, separately applied handrails as well. You've got your zero injuries decal there. It's an absolutely beautiful model. I believe that's the reflective stripes, those little yellow bands there across the locomotive, and there's one above that front coupler here. Got your MU cable ports there, little handle for the door, and of course the Genesee and Wyoming branding on the front right there. This is a beautiful piece of art. Alright, let's get it out, put it on the track. I'll turn the DCC on. Here is CLP 16 sitting on the layout. The DCC system is on. We're going to go through the startup sequence, go through some of the functions, and just sort of have a bit of a run around with it. Now, I'm not going to be going through all the functions, as there are 31 functions listed on the documentation that comes with the locomotive. I will put it on the screen if it's visible there. If it'll focus, I wonder. There we go. As you can see, pause your phone, pause your video there, have a bit of a look. Quite the functions list. Alright, back to the loco. Let's press the magical function 8 and have a listen. That was for my South Australian Railways fans there. So we'll press headlight. There we go. I've got it in position so we can have a bit of a look at those front lights. So I've had a bit of a play around. Function 7 gives you your number board and white marker lights. Now function 7 again gives you your red marker lights. And again, you lose your number board, keep your red marker lights, and then press it again, you lose your red. Your headlight is your normal headlight button, which I believe is function 0. So incandescent fade out, fade on, and then put those number and marker lights again. And of course, as you've heard, that lovely horn. Now, if you're familiar with CVs and all that, you can change the horn. According to the paperwork here, you've got Leslie RS5T as your default horn, and it can be changed to a Nathan P5 horn if you go through your CV functions. Function 1 is your ditch lights, and if you press your horn, you get your prototypical flashing ditch lights. And then we'll press our 1 again. Ditch lights are out. Let me turn the locomotive around and we'll have a look at the back. Here is your rear end of the locomotive. Now I'll change direction. You get your incandescent headlight. Function 9 gets you your white rear markers. Press it again. You get your red rear markers. And then again, and you lose your red rear markers. Hopefully that's a decent overview of the lighting on this locomotive. And we're now going to have a few clips of it in motion. Well, there you have it, guys. My little look at the Auscision Models CLP class locomotive. Well, at least the Genesee Wyoming CLP 16 model. Overall, I think it's an incredible model worth every penny. The sound is great, the details are amazing, and the logic that's fitted into the DCC for stuff like the illumination of the bulbs or the flashing of the ditch lights is wonderful. Unfortunately, I didn't have any prototypical rolling stock to put behind it, but I have a feeling that in scale terms it could probably hold more than a real CLP, scale terms at least. Overall, I recommend it, and I'd love you to comment below if you got any of the Auscision Models CLPs, which ones of them? And did you get any CLFs? Like I said, I am hoping to have a look at one. Anyway, I've been Kane from Kane's Trains. Thank you very much for watching.